The old, half-burnt map crackled in Elias's hands. Around him, his companions shifted restlessly. For weeks, they'd trekked across the wasteland, following rumors of a lost king's treasure hidden at the heart of the Whisperwind Peaks. Now at the mountain's foot, doubt gnawed at them. "Are you sure about this, Elias?" "Maya!" the warrior asked, her voice barely above a whisper. The mountain loomed before them, a silent giant shrouded in mist. Even the winds seemed to avoid its presence, creating an unnatural silence that amplified the pounding of their hearts. "The map led us here," Elias said, his voice firm despite the tremor in his hands. "Besides, what choice do we have? We're as close as we'll ever be." They began their ascent, each step testing their resolve. Narrow cliffs dropped away into the swirling mists below. Icy winds buffeted them, carrying the echo of avalanches waiting to thunder down the mountain. The higher they climbed, the more alive the mountain seemed to become, its presence heavy, its intentions unclear. Hours later, the rocky terrain gave way to a dark cavern. A faint glow emanated from strange markings on the walls, guiding their way deeper into the mountain's belly. Here, the air grew colder, damp, and smelling of ages past. Suddenly, the passage opened into a vast chamber. In the center, a shimmering pool of water lay guarded by 4 stone figures, each twice the height of a man. "We need to get past them," said Cassia the rogue, her eyes scanning for a way through. But how? They searched for a way, realizing the answer lay in the patterns on the wall. Each figure had a symbol etched on its chest, matching those carved on the floor around the pool. With careful steps, Elias approached the nearest statue and stepped onto the corresponding symbol. The moment his foot touched the stone, the others lit up, bathing the chamber in a brilliant blue light. The pool rippled, then split open, revealing a tunnel just large enough for one person to pass through. Taking a deep breath, Kasha volunteered to go first. She slipped through the opening and disappeared from view. Moments stretched into an eternity as they heard the scrape of rock and the sound of her voice. Then she reappeared, brushing dirt from her clothes, a triumphant grin on her face. "It leads to a massive cavern. I didn't see any traps or guards. You should all go through one by one." One by one, they made their way through the secret passage until the entire company stood within the cavern. Towering crystal formations glittered overhead, casting rainbows across the chamber floor. In the center sat a huge chest bound with iron bands. This must be the treasure of King Alaric, lost for centuries. As Elias approached the chest, a low rumble echoed through the cavern. The crystals overhead pulsed with a sudden, eerie green glow. Startled, he stumbled back, knocking over a nearby crystal shard. It shattered, sending a shower of sparks into the air. A voice boomed through the cavern, echoing with ancient power. "Who disturbs the mountain's heart? Who seeks the king's forgotten hoard? Treasure untold, jewels that gleam, a crown of gold, a king's lost dream. But hear my warning, heed my plea, for greed will turn the mountain's might against thee." As the voice faded, the crystals flared, bathing the chamber in an emerald light. Elias looked at his companions, their faces pale in the eerie glow. The voice hadn't been a trick of the mountain. There was a price to pay for the treasure. Suddenly, Cassia laughed, a wild, nervous sound. "Great mountain spirit, here we stand, before your ancient test. We seek no quarrel, only to claim our rightful share of the treasure left behind by Alaric the Just." The spirit rumbled. "So be it. Prove your worth, and take what is thine. But tread carefully, for the mountain's wisdom is keen. Sharadim, the Just, demands fairness and might. Only then shall you claim your prize and leave this place in peace." With that, the crystals flared one last time, revealing the full extent of the cavern. All around them, sparkling veins of gold and precious gems jutted from the rock, glinting under the eerie green light. For a moment, no one moved, no one spoke. The weight of the mountain's final test hung heavy in the air. To claim the treasure, they had to remain true to the king's ideals. But how could they ensure fairness in the heart of a mountain full of riches? In the end, it was Maya who spoke, her voice ringing with conviction. Let us divide the treasure equally, according to our needs, and not our greed. May the mountain's wisdom guide our hands in sharing what King Eric earned. And so they did. Carefully, they sorted through the glittering hoard, dividing the gems and gold fairly. As they worked, the atmosphere shifted, the oppressive tension easing, replaced by a quiet hum of contentment. The mountain spirit, witnessing their integrity, hummed in approval. When their division was complete, they gathered before the entrance, their packs laden, their faces resolute. As they stepped out into the sunlight, the mountains loomed, silent and watchful. Their ordeal was over. They had claimed their prize and survived the mountain's trials.